Hi guys, welcome to Charities Babu. You say your number one channel. I am here, guys. It's been a minute. I've been so busy, guys, but I have to do this video because we are in November. Today is November 2nd, guys. So I have to do some reminders. I have to answer some questions. But before that, guys, I want to thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. We have reached, let me see the number. We have reached 7,000 and something subscribers, 7,544 subscribers, guys. Thank you. Remember, we are on the journey to 10,000 subscribers, and I know you guys are going to help me get there. If you haven't subscribed, kindly consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Kindly consider sharing my videos, guys. I've seen overwhelming support, and thank you for watching my videos, guys. I can't thank you enough. Now, so let's look at some of the things that I need to talk about. I want to talk about the date, the end date for DV Lottery. The end date for DV Lottery is going to be on Tuesday the 8th. Tuesday the 8th. So if you are in Africa, Tuesday the 8th at noon here in the US, that's when the DV Lottery is going to end. So you better have filled out your DV Lottery by that time. And remember, uh, we do not require the passport, and you find that sometimes I see questions, and I know I can tell if you have watched my video or if you have not watched my video, because I've said several times that we do not need a passport. The only thing that you need is those photos, following the instructions. I've guided so many people on how to do the photos. Some people have reached out to me, and I've just tried to guide them, and most of them have been successful in the application. So it's still not very late. Today is the 2nd. So if you haven't done your application, please do your application, guys. Please do your application. Now, let's talk about the DV Lottery, some of the questions, because I haven't answered so many questions. And there's this question for this person who was asking, what is the use of the mailing address in the DV? Now, the use of the mailing address in the DV, it's there because here in the American system, we use the mailing address. So what you are required to do, even if you don't have your own personal one, ask for a friend, ask maybe for your church or maybe your nearby school, and just put a PO box there, because you don't leave it blank. Just put a PO box there. And remember, the most important thing is your email address, guys. I can't stress enough on that. Your email address, remember the password. Remember that you have to access it by yourself. Remember, if you need someone to do the application for you, then you have to be there, so that you print out your confirmation and you go with it home, because there is a special character number there that will help you to access your application in May. Guys, you have to follow that, and I know so many people have done the application and they are just waiting. Now, there is this other person who was asking about the email or the confirmation code. Now, there is no confirmation code in the email. What you need to do is that if you watch my video, there's that video that I put it on the front, and even right now it's running. If you watch that video, how to apply for the DV Lottery 2024, you find that you are supposed to enter your email address, and you're supposed to know the password, and then you find that that email will come into play after you have been selected. Of course, you need your confirmation number, because that is the number that you're going to use to check. But then after that, when they send you your second notification to tell you about your interview and to tell you about all that stuff, they will use your email. So guys, you have to be sure that you know that email. Now there's another person who was asking about the passport. Guys, the passport is not needed. I was chatting with a person yesterday, and he was like, Charity, I'm here in Africa and it's so hard. I want to try the DV Lottery, but I don't have a passport. I told him, you don't need a passport. And he ended up doing the application, and now he's just waiting. So go ahead and do your application. But remember the photos must be the right ones. They must be the right ones. Okay, now this other lady, Mildred, is saying, I'm your new subscriber. Thank you for joining me. I'm currently a new green card applicant. I hope all goes well for me, and I'm following you guys. So guys, it just makes me happy to see that most of you have done the application. Okay, so let's see another video, and I also want to thank you for for watching Francis's video. You know, I was I really do appreciate that. Okay, so there's another one who's saying, I applied for the DV lottery. If I get a chance, I do not know what to do now. Normally, what I say is that after I do a DV lottery, and I talk about that all the time in my shows, is that when you're done after the 8th of this month, forget about it, guys. Think about it next year. You have to go on with your life. You have to do what you have been doing. You have to go on with your job until you check. Then, even when you check and you find out that you have won your DV lottery, nothing is going to change for you. You cannot quit your job. You cannot sell your farm or whatever until you have done the whole process and you have gotten your visa. And if you go back on the instructions, they tell you don't quit your job, don't sell your farm or don't sell your business. Just continue, because winning the DV lottery, there are other steps that you are supposed to follow so that you get your visa. So it's very, very, very important for you to know that. But it's also good to know that this is a lottery. And after you have done the application, forget about it until that time. And then when that time has come in, then we are going to talk about that. It's very, very, very important for you to do that. Okay, so it's another one who was asking who won, who or him. He was, go back to my videos and see who won the DV lottery, me and Francis. But it doesn't matter to us because we are a family, and whatever, like we count our gains as like if I gain something or Francis gains something, it's for both of us, so we don't like kind of compete or whatever. It doesn't matter to us. Okay, now this one is asking, Uri Kanta is asking, when should I check out my DV lottery 2024? Now it's, forget about it right now, it's gonna be next year in May, so don't think about it right now. Keep your confirmation number because you will need that when you are checking in May. Okay. Now there was this other person who was saying that they used to live in Wichita, but then they went back to Kenya. After, I think I want to reach out to them and see why they moved back home and see. But I'm glad that they did apply the DV lottery, and they are waiting. Okay. There's another one. Let's see. I'm trying to read your DV lottery questions. Can an unmarried person add his or her eligible children to the DV lottery application and apply? Is this acceptable? Now, I've talked about this several times, guys, but I don't tire of talking about it. Now, if you are married, customary marriage, traditional marriage, or you have been living with that person and you have kids, and in your custom, the African customs, I know when I talk about the African customs, you guys understand that you can live with a person, even you can live for 20 years, 30 years, and you have kids, but you have not, you are customarily married. Like everybody knows, acknowledges that you're the wife of that person. Now you will apply like you are married. And I need you to go back to my videos and watch that video that I did with Levy, whereby when Levy won his green card lottery, he had been married to his wife, but they did not have a marriage certificate. So when they won the DV lottery, they went ahead and acquired the marriage certificate because the DV lottery is diverse. It's called a diversity visa, and it is able to embrace different cultures, because you find that if you live in the US, it's a little bit different, very, very different, whereby if you're living with a person, and I've talked about this before, and they have not married you, they have not married you in the court or in church or wherever, that's your boyfriend. But in Kenya, it's a little bit different, whereby, or in Africa, you find that people get married traditionally, they live together, and maybe you are not able to solemnize or maybe to get a marriage certificate because of finances, because it can be a hindrance because you don't have money to do it. And you find that most customs, they require a lot of steps to be followed before you become legally married to that person. That could be a hindrance. But do not leave out your family, guys. If you have that lady that you're living with or that man that you're living in and you have children, you will apply as you are married, and you will include your kids. You will include even your step kids and even your adopted children that you have adopted legally. Very, very important, guys, because If you do your application and you do not include your family members, that is a ground that they are going to deny you the visa. They will. And you find that coming to the US, and I normally like to talk about it, is that when you come here, your life is gonna change now. And they keep your paperwork. Maybe you say that you are unmarried. How are you gonna go back and explain about a wife and kids that you had left back home? So do the application as a whole and have faith that you will win. And remember, you can um, you can do the application a separate entry, and your spouse can do a separate entry and add you as and kids, and you will be good to go. Remember, there's another requirement. You have to have a Form 4 certificate or a high school certificate or a high school diploma, whatever you call it, or you must have a qualifying job. A qualifying job. I'm gonna try all my best and do a video about the qualifying jobs here in a little bit, so that we can know. But I can link a video here that have talked about qualifying jobs, or maybe renew a new one. Okay, now, so you have won the DV lottery, especially the people who are DV 2023. Yeah. And maybe you checked, you found out that you won your DV lottery, and now you want to add someone there. Now you can't do that, because if you do that, the grounds for you to be denied the visa are very high. They're going to be very, very high. So there is no way that you're going to win and then you add a person. Sometimes they question that. They do question that. So you have to be, so to save yourself all that hurdle, you have won, and you are in a dilemma. You're like, do I leave my wife and my kids, or do I leave my husband and my kids? You don't want to be in that dilemma. So just include everyone. The DV lottery is inclusive of the family. And if they find out that you had a family that you didn't talk about, they are not going to give you that visa, because they, here in the US, what I have realized is that separating families, like that's a big thing. You can do that, guys. So it's very, 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 very important for you to do that. Okay. Now let's see. There's another one who was saying, I am a software developer. My intention is to get to America and get a secure job, then back to Kenya as an online job worker. Now, you can fill out the DV lottery. I normally tell you guys the DV lottery is the easiest. It's the easiest way for you to come here and get the right papers and be able to work. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to come here and start struggling because you don't have papers. Because if you don't have the right papers, you're not going to get a job. You won't be hired. And if maybe someone invites you here and they tell you that you're going to get a job, you are going to be exploited. That's for sure. Because they're not going to be able to pay you like they will not be able to pay you the right way. They will exploit you, and you don't want to go through that. So it's very, very important for you to come with the right way. I've seen the advantages of like coming the right way, having a green card, and being a US citizen. And of course, I share what I do here in the US. So you see, it's a good thing. Okay, now. So there's another one who was asking, this one also, Francis, I have a specialized as an electrical tradesman here in Kenya. What do I do for the practice in America? Now, normally, if you're a tradesman or if you did a technical job, you find that it's called trade school here. You can come, you go, you do your refresher course, and then you get the license to practice, and you're good to go. Here, the sky is the limit. You can do whatever you want as long as it's not a crime. You can do whatever you want, any job that you want. You can go to school or whatever, and you get. It's they give you the opportunities to fulfill your dreams. So, so whatever you have done, it doesn't matter. You come here and you will be able to pursue it. Okay. Now, let's see. So the other one was saying about the process of buying a house. I'm going to link that video there because I've talked about the process of buying a house here in the US. And it's not very hard, but you cannot just come in and buy a house. That one is not going to happen. You have to come, you get familiarized with stuff. Maybe you get a job. There's something called credit. You have to have very good credit when you are buying a house, and then you go through there, unless you have cash, like you have enough cash, like you just go and pay cash. You find that it takes time before you buy a house. Okay. So watching from Dubai, I'm also a painter and auto sprayer. I'm going to apply, and my regard to you. So this is a person, George Asiendu, is saying that he was going to do the application. So I hope that he did. So this one, I don't know what he was telling me to write comments, because I'm going through the questions right now. And if you have a question there, I'm gonna answer it. Sometimes it takes time, especially like I told you guys, I'm in school, and sometimes it's just my life is just crazy. But I will always come back here and answer your questions. It doesn't matter. I will always come back here and um, answer your questions. Okay. Now let's see if there was another question. What if I use now this one is very, very important. What if I used a mailing address of my host in the US? Why are you looking for a host and you have not won the DV lottery? Hmm? So use an address that is a local address. And then after you win the DV lottery, the DS260. The DS260 is a form that you're going to fill out after you have won the DV lottery. That DS260, guys, is the one that you must have an address for here, because your host is going to give you that address. But for the first application, use your local address. That's very, very, very important. Okay. Hi Charity, how do I choose the state to settle after winning the green card? Now, this one depends on where you are going to get your host. And remember that when you get a host, right now it's a little bit different, because they require the host to send you the an affidavit of support and all that stuff. So you find that sometimes it can be a challenge. But what I know is that when you win your DV lottery, God is just gonna open a way, and you will be you'll be good, guys. You'll be good. Um, okay, now let's see if there's another question here. So, how do day schools compare to boarding? Like, would you take your kid to a boarding school of a day school? Now, here most schools here are day school. Like most are. I know they are boarding school, but most parents here prefer like to have their kids go to school and then they come back home. And for me, is that I prefer my kids coming back home. I haven't checked on any boarding school, but I am sure that I do not want to take my kids to a boarding school. And I know before I left Kenya, it was a little bit different. People were taking their kids to boarding school and all that stuff. Now here is a little bit different. And when you come here, you learn so many things. And then you find that most people, like in the state that I live in, you find that most people just take their kids to school and they come home, so because they want to spend more time with them when they are growing up. So you find that when you come here, you will not be so much convinced to take your kids to boarding school, because like I tell you guys, parenting here is very, 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 very different. So you find that maybe you might take your kids to boarding school and they are not so happy about it, because they are not seeing you or whatever. They might think that maybe you decided to abandon them, so that you could work. So there are so many dynamics that fall in when you come here in the US. But what I know and what I think is that the best thing here in the US is to have your kids go to school, let them come home, know how they are doing, and just bring them up. It doesn't take long to bring up kids, guys. That time flies, and it flies, and your kids are big. Just the other day I came to the US and my kids were little. Right now Eric is a big boy, Christine is a big girl. So it's very, very important for you just to um take care of your kids. And that's how I see it. That's how that's my opinion. Okay, where are you in America? I live in Wichita, Kansas. And so let's see. So there's another person. I think this is the video that I did for for the neighborhood. Which country is that where you don't see anybody in the street walking? This is so Oppressed People TV channel. Now if you watch my videos, you know that I live in the US. And you find that you won't find so many people walking on the way, unless unless they are going for a walk. People are busy. Like this country, like everybody is just busy. We operate by schedules. Everybody is busy. If someone is not going to work, they are in their house, or maybe they are going for a meeting. And you won't find it. Mostly you're going to find people, especially in this state, when they are going for a walk. Hmm? Okay, now this other one is asking, what's high school diploma? High school diploma means that you have gone to elementary school, that is 8 years, and you have gone to 4 years of higher education. That's what is a high school diploma, or a high school certificate, in other words. So that's what that means. Okay, let's see if there's another question about DV lottery. And I do not see. Let's see. So So guys, I hope that I have answered most of no, there's another one. Does anyone need fee to pay for this? Do you have to pay any fee to pay for this application form? The DV lottery is free, guys. It's free of charge. It is very, very free of charge. Now I'm going to link that video here so that you can see it's free of charge, guys. Unless you're going to someone's cyber cave and you are using their internet, of course they're going to charge you. Of course, if you want someone to apply for you, they are going to charge you. And that's why I normally tell you, watch my videos, guys. It's very easy to do the lottery application for yourself. You can even do it on your phone very, 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 very easily. Okay, now, okay, but for education you have to have 2 years of experience. You have been trained, but you have to have 2 years experience in a job category that qualifies. And I think I should do a video on that so that we understand each other, guys. Because let's assume you didn't go to high school and you are thinking that maybe I have this job, I've been a hairdresser, maybe I've worked for 2 years or 10 years or whatever. And then you are like, that one is gonna qualify. No, most of those jobs that are on that website, some of them they require you to have a higher education of something, because it has to be a certain job level and a certain category. So we're going to talk about that in upcoming videos. So so this other one was saying they wanted to apply, but their passport will not be ready. No, just do the application. You don't need the passport. You will think about the passport later. So guys, I have talked about most of your questions, and if you have more, you're gonna text there, and we are gonna talk about them now. Please, if you haven't applied your DV lottery, please go and do the application. It's gonna end on Tuesday next week. So by the time, if you are in Africa, and here it's gonna end on Tuesday at noon, and you wanna apply on the 8th, on the last day, then by the time you wake up, it will be gone. It's gonna be gone. So do your application if you're doing your application now. And keep your confirmation number, and then we are going to wait and see what's going to happen in the next year. So guys, I hope that this video is going to be helpful to you guys. So keep the questions coming, keep on subscribing, keep on sharing my videos, and we're going to talk about more about the DV lottery. So all I can do is wish you all the best, and I'm praying for you, and have faith, guys, that you're gonna your life is gonna change. And like I say, I like to remind you that if where I came from, nobody could have thought that I would have come to live in the US, guys. Maybe one time I'm gonna write a book, or maybe tell you my life story, and I know my life story can motivate so many people. But what I can tell you is that fill out the DV lottery. You never know, your luck might be there, and by faith, God changes things. So guys, I wish you all the best as you, if you haven't applied, as you go on to apply, and I wish you all the best as you wait patiently to see if you're gonna win the DV lottery. So continue subscribing and continue supporting my YouTube channel. Thank you, and God bless you.